Hi, welcome to my video. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys that, well, how I get rid of all my system profiles, I should call them. This is how I done it. So I know there's better techniques and better ways of doing it, but how I done it is I basically go to cd/nix/var/nix/profiles, and you'll see that there's one profile. I had like 25. So basically what I done, I do sudo rm system dash star and it completely deleted all the ones I made. Then it just kept default per user in system. So then after once I wiped all that out, I basically just done, sudo NixOS dash rebuild switch. So that one way of doing things. Now, there is a way of to get, so if you'll see right here, I'm running my NVIDIA on, so if I do sudo nix shell -p and I run gl, is it gl? Yeah, glx info. Okay, I probably already have that installed. Let's do it init or in xi-g. So this doesn't really show much, but I am on a display server X11 and I'm running. It doesn't really it doesn't show no device data found. Really, I have Toybox installed, so it should detect your PCIs. And also I have GL info installed. And there's this other one, but doesn't even know what resolution. For some reason, it knows it here, but NXI does not notice it at all. But anyways, with fast fetch, it basically tells me I'm running on X11 because otherwise it would say KWin Wayland. So that's one indication that I'm running in the X11 display server. So to fix all that, you just go to sudo nano /etc/nixos/configuration.nix. So right here you'll see I have things all messed up here. So it's mode set equals 1, and you want to add another thing. It's NVIDIA DRM dot frame buffer device equals 1, which is SBDev equals 1. Now, see, I can't load, I tried with production drivers, which is the stable quotation mark, production means stable, which is the 550 drivers. And I also got the same kind of. So what happens is I'm not sure if it's all I don't have any other desktop environments installed or GNOME or any window manager or any Wayland style desktops besides Plasma. So I'm not sure if that's the problem. Just give me a second here. My kettle's about to boil over. I need to make my coffee. Be right back. Okay, let's continue this. So when I put into production drivers, I tried it both with 6.6.32 Linux kernel. So with that, done the same thing with 6.9.2 Linux kernel. When you load up Plasma and Wayland with the 550 drivers, it showed the wallpaper. Well, not the wallpaper that I have already set. It showed the default KDE wallpaper, but no panels. But I thought like it just, instead of having a blank screen, it showed the wallpaper. I was like, wow, this is more of a fancier bug. It has a wallpaper now. They're getting kind of creative with this bug. No, it actually is loaded into the desktop, but there's just no panels, and the wallpaper changed because you can right-click the desktop, and you can change the wallpaper. So I changed it, and I don't know. It's just weird. Like it kind of work and it kind of not work. And maybe the bug is not really anything to do with. I think it's just Wayland. It's probably KDE. So that's the problem. I don't know. We'll see when it gets updated to 6.1. But so frame buffer. It will work with the latest drivers. I hadn't tried it with production, but it does work. It's weird because like I'm gonna save that. I will just do that like it. But the thing is, when I do enable with frame buffer, I can't load up. I can't load Discord up. You know what I mean? Like Discord, like it'll load into Wayland, but Discord won't work because it has something to do with the drivers. I don't want to save it because that's the reason why I'm not using it. It's because I do have well, I will put this. Like, I don't really need this because I have this. Both settings enable equals true. Unless I'm doing this wrong. It's at hardware. Hit hardware NVIDIA mode settings dot enable. Let me check that for a second here. I see. So like basically, hardware dot NVIDIA, it's already there. Then you just have mode settings dot enable equals true. Well, that's basically what it is because it's just I don't get it. Like why? Like see, like when I load up into Plasma Wayland with the latest drivers with the latest kernel. When I say latest, I mean like latest, like Arch Linux latest kind of thing. Running the beta drivers. I'm running the beta NVIDIA drivers, and I'm basically running the latest Linux kernel that's available on. Well, I mean, it's basically rolling. The way I set it up, it's rolling. It's unstable, but it's rolling. So it's not really buggy. Like the system works fine. It's just when it comes to mode settings, it doesn't seem to work. It works properly on Arch Linux. Like like the mode set equals 1, whatever, it works on Arch Linux, but for some reason it doesn't work like at all. Like even if I have the boot, kernel params, parameters, to nVidia-drm.moset equals 1. So if I, let's say if I disable that and I just use this, will it work? Alright, let's try that way. And I will reboot. Oops. Rebuild, I mean, and switch. So I will just change that like that. And so that way it should load it. So I'll stop this video and I'll continue it after reboot. Okay, so this is working, I'm guessing. Let's see here. It's recording. Okay. So what I did, I restarted my computer, and I realized that when it goes to the blank screen, you can actually, if you go to the corner right here like this, like you can see these desktops and this, but it's all in black, but the UI still works, so I can launch applications through search. So I load up Kitty Terminal and it actually launched up, but when I try to load up settings, it just flicker, then Plasma just crashed and it goes back to the login screen. Now it does work, however, in X11 mode, but I read up there's some more kernel parameters that I can edit, and I noticed when I go into this, like in the Kitty terminal, it showed an unknown display, which I believe it's a simple DRM platform driver, and I want to blacklist that. So basically, there is a parameter that you can add in. So basically, if I do sudo nano /etc/nixOS /configuration.nix. You see, like, I'm going to say one reason why I like NixOS is because I'm a nerd and I like to figure out stuff. And then I've been like this since I was a kid. Like, something that I need to troubleshoot, and like especially when it comes to computers, I will not sleep. I will think in my head every single possibility to correct this problem that I'm having. And a lot of times I figure it out, because if I don't, I will go nuts. And I do have pretty bad OCD as well. So I'm going to try init call blacklist equals simple DRM underscore platform driver init. Now I'm going to try this and see if this does anything. So I'm just making sure that it's typed right here. So init call underscore blacklist equals simple DRM underscore platform underscore driver underscore init. Okay, I'm gonna try that, but I'm gonna save that. So I'm gonna do cd / nix var nix profile, and then sudo rm system dash star, and then I'm gonna get out of here, sudo NixOS rebuild switch. So I'm going to rebuild this with those parameters in there, and we'll see if that takes off the dummy screen and it just loads up my screen normally. What I was thinking it's doing is basically loading up that dummy screen, or it's conflicting with just my single display. So it's loading, because like simple DRM is running with that, and I think that other systems they patch it to have that parameters in their setup. So I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to reboot and see if it works. Next video is I'm running this in Wayland and me being really excited and happy that is a solution that is fixed instead of running frame buffer, because frame buffer mode is something you don't want to go into. I know all about frame buffer mode because I deal with this with FreeBSD in the past. Anyways, let's see if this works. Okay, so I basically got it to work. It is working. Okay, like it's working because you see here I'm running in Wayland and it did disable that screen. But what's really weird is that when you try to load up Discord, it just does the same thing with frame buffer mode. And this could also be the same. I'm not sure if this is like... So like if you load in frame buffer device, it does the same thing. Like it will load up into Wayland like this. But even with simple DRM being blacklisted, does this as well. I think I rather blacklist that because I think it's a screen issue. But the thing is, I did put mode set 1 and cause I'm reading a form here, so it's saying like in Grub. I don't use Grub. So people are saying it only for me it happens only on Wayland, either GNOME or KD6. This doesn't happen in this table branch. Well, it did with me. Well, it really depends, man. But so it works, but the thing is, like when it comes to load up Discord, it doesn't seem to load up the drivers properly. Like it's driving me nuts because it's running Wayland. It does it with my AMD system as well. Like it'll show like no device data found and missing this and that. Like I never seen this before. Maybe it's just a NixOS thing. Maybe it's not meant for that. I don't know. Is there like a Nix info? Okay, that is something. X channel NixOS. So I don't know. DRM, like so I disable simple DRM. But like let's see, like if I go to Discord, see it does all this bullshit. It doesn't want to load up Discord at all. I've never got all these messages before. This is really weird. I see that here. Type GPU reason crash. It can't. You know, I don't know. it's weird because it will work fine in X11 mode. I really don't know what's the deal. Like, because like if I don't blacklist simple DRM and if I don't use frame buffer, it won't load up into Wayland. If I just have like if I do frame buffer mode as well, it will load up Wayland like this, but Discord won't work. All the other applications does work properly. It's just when it comes to Discord, it doesn't seem to want to launch it up. Like my Steam will work, everything else will launch, but Discord is the only one that's not working. That's my main issue is it's because of Discord is not working. But I wish I can just use the NVIDIA drivers as normal with mode setting, and that's it. So I don't know what's the deal with that. Okay, I don't know why I stopped the video, but I think I was just getting kind of frustrated with this. So basically what I've done is that I'm going to try it out with this setting with frame buffer equals 1 or frame buffer dev equals 1. And I'm not going to try the blacklist one. And I want to see if that will... Because if I just have just mode set, it'll just be a blank screen. But if I enable frame buffer device, or if I blacklist simple DRM, then it'll load up the session properly, but Discord won't work unless I'm in X11 display server. Then it'll load up. I don't know. Anyways, let's try frame buffer mode. So I'm gonna just restart the computer and go with that. So if I use frame buffer device, it also works. It runs inside of it runs KDE normally. So if I just NixOS configuration. So you'll see here, that's what I'm running. So so it is running, display server is running Wayland. K1 is running in Wayland. And I don't get that screen display thing as well. But I do get it if I just run it with mode settings, I get that weird screen, unknown screen. And I think what's happening is overlapping onto the original screen. But when you disable simple DRM, it basically does the same thing, and Discord does this. And it's because of the GPU. I don't really understand the full thing here, but I think it's something with electrons. With the GPU, it's crashing it. This says reason crash type GPU exit code 139. But every other application works fine. I just don't know what's going on with that. So let's say if I comment this out, and let's say if I do boot kernel params equals just nvidia-drm.modeset equals 1. Oops. I'm gonna hit that key. So I'll try that, because that's just basically, but it is wanted to load with this. Let's uncomment that. It doesn't really matter if I have this comment out, because either way, I'm loading this. It's you know, this should load up mode set, because that's how we do it on Arch Linux. We just add it into the grub. You have a command line thing, you just add that in the grub. You can also do that. You can add it in like your kernel parameters as well, but I done mine with just adding it into my default grub configuration file. So when it regenerates the grub file, it will always load that no mode set equals 1. So let's restart the computer, and I will get back to you in another screencast video. I'm just going to save this. Also, I'm going to do sudo rm/nix/var/nix/profile system-star, and then sudo NixOS rebuild switch, and I'm gonna rebuild that, and I'm gonna restart it. So I'll be right back. So in conclusion to this video, I'm gonna just stick with the X11 session. I don't want to disable, like, I don't want to like have to simple DRM, all that stuff. Even though it works, it's just that now Discord does not work with. If you disable that, or even using frame buffer, Discord won't work. Now, I have no idea why Discord doesn't want to work. It just doesn't want to work. So for now, I'm gonna just stick with their default settings, with mode settings on. Mode settings, and basically I'll just use X11 session. I'll wait till some updates come along in the future. Even like I'll wait, like, see how KDE 6.1 works once it's on NixOS. But as of right now, it's I'm gonna stick with X11. Anyways, I am running Wayland on my B-Link with Wayland, and seems to work pretty good. Though I could also use the open source drivers on here as well, but I rather just test this out and see if I can get the proprietary drivers working good. I'll figure it out. It's just that I've been messing around with this way too much. I need to get into work. Anyways, how you go, guys? Cheers.